Hey guys, well, I told myself I wasn't going to do any more videos before I edited the ones I already had done. So I had quite a few on my phone. I had done a few in between telling myself that I had done a few, and yeah, well, I got a new phone. And I had all those issues with my old one. Finally decided I was done with it and I needed to get rid of it. So I did. I got rid of it. And so now I have a new one. We're going to hope and pray that I don't have the same issues with this one as I did the old one. I didn't particularly want to get a new phone, but nobody could fix the issues with the old one. I talked with everybody that I knew to talk to. My cell phone carrier, everybody, and that's all I have right now. I don't have a fancy camera. I pay enough for a cell phone. I don't need to pay for a camera. With all that being said, I tried to edit 2 of the remaining videos I had left. I had 2. One I was doing a Throwback Thursday, and one I was doing using all of my favorite products from where I did my ranking videos. I was taking all the top products and putting them in a video using them all together. Well, those may not get edited. I may have to refilm those videos, and that's okay. It is what it is, you know? So let's cross our fingers and toes that yeah, let's just do that. Anyway, I talked about this in a video not long ago. This is the Natasha Denona. Ignore the mess on my table in front of me. You're gonna see a mess. But this is the Natasha Denona Glam Face Palette. You've seen it. She's been used. I've used her quite a bit. I love her. She's amazing. This is a wonderful palette for everyday use, honestly. I've done just all matte looks with this one. I have there's been so much I've been able to accomplish with just this palette, so I love it so very much. And in the video that I used this, I talked about getting the dark palette, and guess what? I have the dark palette. So I have the dark one. So here is a comparison. Ignore all the cords and everything in front of me. I had to get myself a heater. It got a little chilly down here, so I had to get a heater and all that good stuff. So this one is the dark palette, right? Yes, dark. I wanted to say dark and I wanted to say deep, and I didn't know which is which. I did use this. I think I've only used it once, maybe twice, but I think just one time. But this is so beautiful. So beautiful. I actually did use the highlighter today, and I think that's all I used out of here today. So I have used it twice just for the highlighter. So I do have the highlight on actually right now. So even though it is the dark palette, I can still wear the highlight, and it doesn't, in my opinion, I don't see a shadow cast, and you know, all that good stuff. So here is, I'll lift up that little flap so that you can see everything. So this is a cream to powder blush, and then this is just like a regular, it's a new formula for her, but it is a powder highlight. So yeah, I'm really excited. She named them just like she did in the light palette: outer corner, transition, smoke, inner corner, and crease. I did use this, if you follow me on my boutique page on Facebook, or yeah, on Facebook, then you would have seen a look with this last week. I used this the first time, so I'm very excited about this. When I got it from Sephora, it was just in a box with a little bit of paper, and the actual like container was opened a little bit, and I was like, oh my gosh, my palette is going to be broken. And it kept going in and out of stock, so I was like, okay then, it's just gonna be broken. And I got it out, and thankfully it was all intact. So no issues. But yes, so let me swatch these for you. So here are all the swatches. I'm sorry, I forget that when I turn my wrist that it goes at a slant. So here are all the eyeshadows, and then these two here This one is the blush, and this is the highlight. So, very beautiful. I thought for comparison's sake, I would do swatches of the light and the dark. So I'll hold it up like this, and even though it does go at a slant, you guys can still see. So here are comparisons. You can definitely tell that the dark palette is a deeper palette, for sure. But what I like about these is they are buildable formula. All of her formulas are very buildable, and so you can take a deep blush and you can kind of sheer it out a little, or you can build it, and that's what I love about Natasha. So but especially her eyeshadows, that's what I'm most familiar with from her. And I've noticed that you can definitely do that. But yeah, I love all these shades. Glad to have them all, that way I can, you know, just use them all for a look. I'm only going to use the dark tonight, and if you hear my chair popping, I do apologize. I've apologized in a few videos. I don't know which ones I've posted, which ones I haven't. It's just annoying for you and for me, so I do apologize. So after I got off work today, I had to go to the doctor, and what fun that is, right? I really do like my doctor though, so I'm not complaining. But I had my face done. I didn't do a whole lot of makeup on my eyes. I did do a little bit of liner on top and bottom, and a little bit of bronzer in the crease. So that is on there. I didn't want to take off my whole face and redo it. I didn't have it in me today. Sorry guys, I'm just exhausted. I'm not gonna even lie, because you can probably tell. It's just been, it's been a lot here lately, which I keep saying that, and I'm sorry. I know you're probably tired of hearing it. But yeah, I just, I feel really tired. Oh, I got that in my, I got it in my eyebrow. Okay. So what I did, I didn't finish that part. What I did was, before coming down here, I just took some eye makeup remover, and I took off my wing liner, and the bronzer I had in the crease on top, and I thought we'll start fresh. We become friends, so I can talk to you guys, right? Why I keep saying it's so much, I'm so tired. I've been having a lot of anxiety, a lot of restlessness, not sleeping well, just being overwhelmed. Yeah, that's how I felt. I'm not the only person who has lost a loved one. I'm not oblivious to this. I don't want to try to make it seem like my pain is worse than anyone else's. Please don't try to take it that way, because I don't mean to come across that way. But like, I've never dealt with this before. This is my first year of going through all the holidays without my dad, so it's very, very different than what I've experienced before, and it's just very, very different. That's all I know how to say. So Thanksgiving was very different. I didn't even see my family on Thanksgiving. That's how different it was. So just very odd. And it wasn't like anybody's fault, or that I was angry or anything like that. It just is how it worked out. And I did get to spend some time with my mom and things like that the day after, but it was just, yeah, just not what I was hoping for. I'm gonna go in with transition. So I'm gonna take that and put it in the crease, and I'm going lightly because these are deeper shades. So, and I'm gonna kind of focus more on this outer corner and drawing it in a little bit. And I did get a fluffier brush so that it would disperse the color a little bit more. So we did go to my husband's family's Thanksgiving, and I'm really glad he got to spend time with them, because you know they lost a loved one very recently, and I know that had to be difficult, especially being so recent. We had a tragedy happen, and I'm not even close to the tragedy, so I'm not even trying to act like it was close to me. But in our community, just a few days ago, a couple weeks, I guess now, but where we just had something rock the community, and I think about that person's family and what they must be going through, because they lost their loved one right before Thanksgiving as well. So yeah, it's just, I can't even begin to imagine how that feels. At least I've had time to grieve a little bit. But you know what, if I'm going to be honest, since I'm being so honest, I don't feel like I've truly grieved at all. Like, yeah, I've cried. I have my moments, for sure. But I don't think I've actually grieved any. I jumped into, and nobody makes me do this. This is just kind of how I feel I have to do. And nobody at all makes me feel this way. But I go into caretaker mode whenever there's a crisis, and that's basically what I did. You know, when my dad passed, I went into caretaker mode. I broke down. When I found out, I broke down, and the days after, I didn't really break down with anybody except for my husband. Like, he's the only one that really saw the raw, you know, breakdown in my life. And my mother-in-law got to hear it on the phone. Love her heart. She's so sweet. But it was just a very hard thing for me. I'd never been through it, of course, so how do you know how to deal with it, you know? But at the same time, I've always been a fix-it, you know? Like, if there's a problem, let me fix it. That's just who I am. That's how I know to be. That's how my dad taught me to be. That's how he was. So that's what I did, and I don't think I ever got out of that mode. I think I jumped into, after that happened, I jumped in to take care of my mom, and then I jumped into, you know, all these different things, and maybe it was a coping mechanism for me. I don't really know. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I like to self-diagnose. And I feel like I just never took the time to grieve, and I think that maybe what I'm feeling could, where did that come from? Did I just do that? What I'm feeling could just be like residual grief, like that I've not dealt with. And it's making me tired. It's making me, and of course it could just be that it's the holidays and I miss my dad, obviously. I mean, that's the obvious answer here, right? But I just never dealt with it. I didn't take the time to, so that's my fault. I should have taken the time to do it. But it's coming out now. I'm gonna take this shade called Crease. Did you see how beautifully this blended out, by the way? It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm taking that shade. I'm actually gonna deepen the crease. So I'm taking it on a smaller brush. Still trying to focus more on the outer portion of the eye. So I don't mean to be like Debbie Downer and talking about my problems all the time, but at the same time, like, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm dealing with in real time. So I don't want you guys to just think that I'm just making excuses for how tired I feel, because it's not that at all. I did have a little bit of something down here, but I think it's my mascara more than anything. So yeah, that's my craziness. Do you see the difference? There's just a little bit more definition here, a little bit more a defined crease, if I can talk. Over here, a little bit more. It almost actually pulls up the eye a little bit more, and we're not even done anything to really pull up the eye, but it kind of does that. Just giving that little definition on the outer portion like I did. I really like doing that. So please don't think that I'm just trying to be like a complainer, because I hate to ever complain. Like, that's the one thing I try the most in my life not to do, and I feel like that's all I ever do for you guys, and I'm sorry. I hate feeling like a burden to anybody, and maybe that's why it's so easy for me to sit down in front of my phone by myself and talk. Maybe because I know in the back of my mind I'll probably edit this out later, and I'm not into some like deep dark depression that's like I'm never getting out of this. I don't mean to sound like that at all, because I don't feel that way. I'm just going back with the blending brush, no extra product. I don't mean to sound that way at all. It's just like, it's a lot to handle, guys. For somebody who's never been through this, like I've never lost someone this close to me. Like, I've lost my grandparents, and that was super hard. That was, you know, grief on a level that I didn't think I would ever get over. But this is something completely different. Like, if you've never lost a parent, I'm so thankful for you, because it is the hardest thing you'll ever have to go through, and I pray that you never have to go through it, because it's hard. My husband would tell me, he's so sweet, he's like, I wish I could take your pain, and I'm like, I wouldn't let you. I wouldn't let you. And I pray that you never have to face this, because I don't want anybody to ever have to go through this. This is the suckiest thing I've ever gone through, and I'm sorry, but it is. And absolutely, my dad's in a much better place. He's much healthier. You know, he's doing better, but I don't cry because I'm worried about him or anything. I cry because I miss him, you know, like I'm crying for myself, basically. I'm having a pity party because I miss my dad. And I just want him to come home. Not to face the sickness he faced before, but just to have him, to have that comfort, you know. You don't realize the comfort it is just to know that you're, even when you don't live at home anymore, that like your parents there, and all you gotta do is go there, pick up the phone, call them. I think that's what I might miss most, is just getting to pick up the phone to call him. Because I would go to him for so much. So much. It's ridiculous how much I depended on him. And I see that now. I do. Okay. So I'm going to go in with outer corner. I'm going to do it on my finger. I just feel like it lays down a little bit better that way. I prefer shimmers on my finger. You guys know this if you've been around any length of time. So I'm just going to go in with outer corner. Isn't that gorgeous? And I'm just going to lay that down next to that deep outer corner. Some days I do feel like I'm losing my mind, but I think it's just me. That is so pretty. I could put that all over the lid and be happy, honestly. It's so pretty. Okay, then I'm going to take inner corner on my finger. It's going in the inner corner. Absolutely, positively stunning. I love it. Okay, I usually like to do my eyes first because I like to clean up fallout, you know, my all that good stuff. But since I have my face on, let's clean up some of this. You're gonna have fallout with these shimmers. That's kind of par for the course with these new shimmers. However, it dusts away pretty easily. Take like a very fluffy, not dense, but a very fluffy brush to dust things away. And do it gently. Don't go in and rub. Do it very gently. Sweep gently. So I do have some liner on the bottom, but I'm still gonna go in there. I'm gonna take a liner brush and I'm gonna go in with Smoke, and I'm gonna just take that liner brush and just push it up right to that bottom lash line. Even though I already have some, it's basically what's laid down there now. Okay, somebody asked me the other day about liner, like liquid liner, wing liner. So I'm going to teach you a very simple trick if you're new to wing liner. We'll move into liquid liner in another video. But let me tell you, if you're just starting out with wing liner, this is the easiest way that I have found personally to do it. This is not how I do it all the time. I do have liquid liner pens and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not telling you this is how I do it all the time, but this is how I started. So again, same brush. It is just a flat liner brush. Now they do make an angled liner brush. Okay, you can use this. I have better luck with the flat ones. That's just me. You can try different techniques and see what works best for you, but this is what works for me. This is a bit thicker too, so I may not have as much luck with it, but what I like to do is, your wing should be an extension of your bottom lash line. So I take the bottom lash line and I just start stamping. Do you see how I'm just basically extending that? And I'm just going up. And I'm doing it gently. I don't have to go up and make a big, huge, like, line. I'm doing it gently. I'm just patting. And you don't need a whole lot of shadow on your brush. But do you see how that extended just from that bottom line? That's the easiest way to start. That way you know where it needs to go. You get familiar with it on your eye. You get familiar with where that wing needs to go. If you have hooded eyes, you kind of know, you have to kind of manipulate it a little bit. So with my hooded eyes, I kind of have to go out just a little bit more. I have to dip down just a little bit more. Ignore that step if you don't have hooded eyes. But the easiest way is just to go up like that. I know it looks messy now. Give me a second. So then you start from like the top of your line and pull it back in, making the wing. And again, don't use a lot of shadow. You can build up more than you can take away, because I'm gonna have to clean this up over here. I made a mess. And so you can take it all the way in if you want. You can leave it like halfway. And then what I like to do is, usually I'll do this step. I don't always do it. I can't tell you I usually do this step, but most of the time I'll do it like before I put my foundation on. You can take a little concealer and clean that up, or you can just kind of go along the line there. Don't use a makeup wipe unless you're wanting to take off your makeup and then redo it. So I did kind of clean it up. I'm gonna have to go back in with a little concealer, but that's no big deal. See how that did though? So I have a very long wing. I don't always take my wings out that far. So again, over here, just start as an extension of your bottom lash line. So just start bringing it up. And then start back in. The biggest piece of advice I can give is don't panic if you make a mistake. That's something I used to do quite often when I started in makeup. I would be like, oh my gosh, I have to wipe off my whole face and start over. No, you don't. Okay, so I've got that on. I know it doesn't look great. Well, let me show you how to clean it up when you make mistakes. Because I don't put everything on perfectly. Like, it doesn't go on and look splendid for me. I have to really work for things. I edit my videos, remember, so it's like I have to work for it. I don't use this a whole lot, so I'm going to use this today. It's the ABH concealer. It's their newer one. Have I used it in a video? I can't remember. Don't remember. So you take like the little point of your concealer wand and just go along there. I wiped off most of my product. I don't want a ton of product right here. So I can take my wand, just kind of make a line out through there. Same over here. Now the best thing about doing your eyes before your face is that you can take a makeup wipe that off. You don't have to put extra product on your face, so that makes it nice. So I'm going to take a flat concealer brush, and then I'm just going to kind of start to pat along through here, and I'm not moving that product too much. I'm just trying to blend it in with the rest. So let me tell you something that people mostly won't tell you, like YouTubers or whatever. You're not going to have perfect wings all the time. They're going to have more days where they're not perfect than when they are. So just FYI. So then I'm just going to take a little bit of setting powder. The tiniest bit. And just set that concealer because I don't want it to move. And it's looking a bit lighter. So I'm just going to get the bronzer I used today and put a little bronzer. Not that I'm bronzing my eyeball, but just trying to, you know, make the colors match. I promise you, if you're not sitting under lights like this, you're not going to notice this. It's not going to be that big of an issue. And then if it makes you feel better, or, you know, it's helping you like learn or whatever, go ahead and take your liquid liner and draw over top of it. And that way you're kind of like, you know, learning where you need to put things, you know. That's the biggest piece of advice I can give about liner. But I can try to do a little bit of a liner tutorial in another video too. So I'm gonna take this blush out of here. This is the cream blush. I personally have used the blush a few different ways. You can use it on a sponge, you can use it on a brush, you can use it with your fingers if you want to. So today I'm just going to use a brush and I'm going to dip in. See, it's got quite a bit on there, and then I'm just gonna, yeah, So I'm gonna just start patting it ever so slightly. I did have some blush on from earlier, but honestly, it looks like I didn't have any on at all. Do you see how beautiful that is? So pretty. See, it's a deeper blush, but it blends out beautifully. You can build it up for sure. Like, see, I got a little bit more on this side than this one. But you can definitely blend it out. That might be the best part. You can put it over powder, so. And then the highlight. Let's put more highlight on because you know I love to glow. I'm just gonna dip in. I learned something from one of the people I watch on YouTube. She said this has a translucent base, so it can fit more skin tones. And I know who I learned it from, but I don't know how to pronounce her name. That's why I'm not telling you who it is. But that was very educational for me because that like made a lot of sense. If it has a translucent base, it can fit more skin tones. So see, it still glows. It's not as bright as the light one, but it still glows. I'm actually not done with the bottom lash line either. If you hear my husband upstairs, I apologize. I tell him all the time to be quiet, and he doesn't listen, so it's just a waste of breath at this point. I'm gonna take some highlight and put it on this inner corner. And brow bone, of course. Okay, and then I'm gonna take that pencil brush I was using earlier, and I'm gonna take the Crease shade here. I'm gonna dip in just a little bit, and I'm gonna start buffing down here. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of transition too, and just finish buffing. So if you like a softer wing, you can definitely do shadow. If you want a liner, a liquid line, do a liquid liner. I love this palette. So I'm about to say something a little controversial. I think I like the darker one better. and it's because I like deeper looks like this sometimes. Now sometimes I like a lighter look, absolutely. But I just really love this. So I don't regret buying both. Do you need both? Absolutely not. But I like the darker one. The light one for me is great for everyday, you know, look. The deep one is great for like nighttime, going someplace special, you know, doing something like that. So that's just my opinion, and that's what I like. That doesn't necessarily mean that's how you would like it. I thought, man, this is gonna be a fast video, and here I talk this whole time, and I'm so sorry. Thank you guys for being my little therapist. I hope you enjoyed this. I know you probably have already stopped watching. I do prefer the dark. That's just me. But I love them both. I'm so happy that I have them both. Yeah, I'm just so happy. And I just am ashamed to say that I have some more Natasha Denona on its way. I should have it in a couple days. Don't tell my husband. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't care. He wouldn't know. He would be like, okay, whatever. Yeah, so yeah. Those Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales will get you every time. But anyway, I do love Natasha Denona. If you didn't know that about me, now you do. I developed a very expensive habit. And now I'm a junkie. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this eye look. I enjoyed making it. I love this palette. I'm so excited to have it in my collection. Honestly, I still love my Glam palette. Please don't get me wrong when I say this. But these have almost taken over as far as like the most used in my collection as far as Natasha Denona. For the fact of they are so wearable. the colors are just so perfect for like daily use. And then they have the highlighter and the blush in there. So these have been in my everyday makeup bag for as long as I've had them. They've been in there. So I'm so excited that I have both, and I hope she does more stuff like this. I think that it would do really, really well. I mean, I think it sold very well. So I'm super happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yet again, I say it. But yes, thank you so much. I am thankful for your support, and I will try my best to quit complaining so that you guys don't have to hear that. My Christmas background did get a little zhuzh too. I like that word, so that's why I say it. Yeah. I don't have a Christmas tree in my home, but, well, a large Christmas tree, but I have this one. So this is what I have. But yeah, I just did this and I really love it. I love all these like neutral colors, but kind of vintage, and yeah, I think it's really cute. So I hope you enjoy the new background. We did change from fall, and yeah, so I'm excited. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not really excited for the holidays, but I'm excited for decorating. I do like to do that. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in yet again, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I feel like I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I'll shut up now. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a wonderful day. You're staying safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.